Hello, Real Life Church. I'm excited to share with you today about a decision that must be made. And that decision is Jesus or Barabbas. And that comes out of Luke 23, where Pilate has two men in front of a crowd of people, and he tells them to choose. Let me read this to you. But they all cried out together, "Away with this man, and release to us Barabbas, a man who had been thrown into prison for an insurrection started in the city and for murder." Pilate addressed them once more, desiring to release Jesus, but they kept shouting, "Crucify! Crucify him!" A third time he said to them, "Why? What evil has he done? I have found in him no guilt deserving death. I will therefore punish and release him." But they were urgent, demanding with loud cries that he should be crucified, and their voices prevailed. So Pilate decided that their demand should be granted. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder, for whom they asked, but he delivered Jesus over to their will. So let's talk about this real quick. Who's Barabbas? Barabbas is this guy who caused an insurrection, and he was a murderer and a robber. He was not very well liked in society, and he was imprisoned, and people loved him there. They wanted him to stay there until Jesus came along. A man who comes along and who is against the religious movement. And the religious people bring this man to Pilate, and they say, "Release Barabbas and give us Jesus. Put Jesus to death." Who do you choose? You see, in life today, we still have to choose between Barabbas and Jesus. Jesus represents God and faith and eternity, while Barabbas represents the world and our evil desires and our sinful nature and the things that we want. There's no in-betweens. You can't have both. And the decision does not depend on your mood at the moment or the mood of the day. You see, we have got to choose. And it's black and it's white. You can't have both. Every one of us can stand in place of Barabbas. Every one of us could be on the steps of decision with Jesus next to us. Every one of us has fallen short of the glory of God. Every one of us has stolen God's glory in something. Every one of us has lied in some way or another. Every one of us has been disobedient at times. We've all thought and said some hateful things. We could be standing next to the King of the world, the King of Kings. We should be put to death. We should be the ones chosen for the life that we live. Yet God chooses to set us free and chooses his Son. You see, the reality in it is that when Barabbas was chosen, that was a manifestation, a physical manifestation of what God was doing in the Spirit, what he was preparing for in the Spirit that Jesus was going before to do. Every one of us falls short of the glory of God. But the good news is that he continues to show us in all of our mess, in all of our sin, how good God is. So, the truth is that by the people and God choosing Barabbas, in actuality, because Barabbas was chosen, that means Jesus was chosen. And because Jesus was chosen, you are chosen.